Rana Ali Khan, the world must act now to address Sudan's escalating humanitarian crisis. As chairman of the international human rights movement, I am compelled to address the international community regarding the rapidly deteriorating situation in Sudan. Recent events have exacerbated an already dire humanitarian crisis, demanding immediate and sustained global intervention. On February 1, 2025, a tragic attack on the Sabrine market in Omdurman resulted in the loss of 56 innocent lives and left 158 others wounded. This atrocity underscores the escalating violence that continues to plague Sudan, with civilians bearing the brunt of the conflict. The United Nations resident and humanitarian coordinator in Sudan, Clementine Quetta-Salami, has condemned this attack, highlighting the urgent need for enhanced protection of civilians. The conflict, now approaching its second year, has led to catastrophic humanitarian consequences. Over 12 million individuals have been displaced, with half the population facing acute food insecurity. The United Nations has launched an appeal for $6 billion to address the escalating hunger crisis in Sudan, aiming to provide assistance to nearly 21 million people within the country. This represents the most ambitious humanitarian response plan for 2025, reflecting the unprecedented scale of suffering. Despite these efforts, challenges persist. The suspension of foreign aid by major donors has severely disrupted the global system designed to combat hunger and famine, placing millions at greater risk. Additionally, attacks on humanitarian workers and facilities have escalated, with more than 50 warehouses looted, 82 offices ransacked, and over 200 vehicles stolen, further hindering relief operations. The international human rights movement stands in solidarity with the people of Sudan and calls upon the global community to 1. Enhance humanitarian assistance. Immediate and increased funding is essential to meet the urgent needs of displaced populations and those facing starvation. 2. Ensure protection of civilians and aid workers. All parties involved in the conflict must adhere to international humanitarian law, safeguarding non-combatants and those delivering critical aid. 3. Facilitate unhindered access for relief operations. It is imperative to remove all barriers that impede the delivery of humanitarian assistance to affected regions. 4. Promote a sustainable ceasefire and political dialogue. A concerted effort is required to bring warring factions to the negotiating table, aiming for a lasting resolution to the conflict. The situation in Sudan is a test of our collective commitment to human rights and humanitarian principles. The international human rights movement urges immediate, coordinated, and decisive action to alleviate the suffering and pave the way for a peaceful and just future for all Sudanese people.